Yo, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back to another Excalibur Zero live TV placement song critique, where we listen to your music and we tell you why or why not it may fit for television. I go by Excalibur Zero, the music producer you can grow with, and my goal is to help 100 musicians land their first seat placement, and we do that by providing resources like this, where we give feedback on stream, and we tell you why or why not it would fit for sync. We have a lot of submissions this week. Last week was a short stream because I had things to do, but we are back and we are live. So we'll start off this week with his verse. If you had something from last week that we did not get through, please feel free to add it to the stream. But we'll get it started today with the homie His Verse. This is a TV16 track. What is up, Revision? Happy Friday, my friend. Happy Friday. My bad, the stream is late today. I had a call this morning at 10:30. It was a pretty dope call. But we are back. Hope everybody had a great week so far. Let's get it popping already with this track from His Verse. What's up, Alan? Happy Friday. What's up, Focal Point? Happy Friday. Dope. Nice lead done from the homie His Verse. This one has like a nighttime reflective type of feel, which is good for TV. You hear that all over television, that type of feel. I feel like it's a good track. Only couple notes I had was that hi-hat is pretty loud, and I've talked about this before, but you got to think about how TV is watched and consumed these days. It's either going to be on a phone, on a tablet, on a TV, and most of the time they don't have nice speakers when they're watching it. And a lot of high-end cuts through the TV really easily. So you got to be careful with the hi-hat. Not to get it too loud in the mix. I feel like it was really upfront in the mix. And then this sound here at the verse. That like little wobbly sound, I would be careful with it. I like that you experimented and you use different textures with this. But it could be seen as distracting because this is supposed to be the verse section, or the section of the track where the dialogue is going to rest the most. Other than that, it's a pretty solid track. Nicely done. Next up, we got the homie Music by Pumpkin. This one's called Project 5. Switch up. Dope, man. Solid track, man. Really like that switch up, Pumpkin. I hear you experimenting and trying different things now and getting out of that formula that you kind of had already. Nice switch up. Solid track. This is a good scene opener. And a good, like, almost like an emotional drama track, too. Nicely done from the homely music by Pumpkin. Yo, Opera Column with a $20 donation. Jeez, bro. I appreciate it, man. So you got 2 tracks today. I'm about to play them right now. I appreciate that donation. Jeez. What is up, 10K? Anyone help you starting sync licensing? What specifically do you need help with? Because if you go on the Discord, you go to the Start Here section, there's a lot of good information about some sync licensing fact. But if you go to the sync license section, you click this little pinned area, I have a little system that'll get you started. It's called the sync licensing system. It's pretty much the general basis of what to start. It's also a little directory as far as where to reach out to libraries and stuff. But if there's specific questions you had, let me know. That being said, we're playing Opera Columns next. Appreciate the donation, my friend. This one's called Leave You Behind. Oh, you have this one first. This is track 01, mix 01. We already know Opera Column got the cleanest mixes. What's up, the coach? What's good, Troy? How you doing, man? Side lead. This mix is clean, man. Good, Snoop. What's good, YM? Sound selection on this, man. Clean, man. That was nice. Sonically pleasing. There's a lot of nice ear candy in that one. The mix, I don't know how your mixes are so damn clean, but they sound top quality. That was dope. You can skip the next one. That kind of just repeats. Oh, my bad. I didn't see that. Doing good, man. Doing good. Troy, how about yourself, my brother? What you been on this week besides what we got going on? All right, Opera Column. This one's called Leaving You Behind. Let's get it. I don't hear anything. Oh, that's me. Ooh, this bounce. This is dope. All right, I'll play about 2 minutes of it then. Let's listen to it though. These are both dope, man. I feel like this first one, like, it almost had like a documentary feel to it or something. Like it was telling a story. That had a storytelling one. This one has like a really good app placement potential. Just because of the sound selection that you used, it sounds like almost has like an R&B feel mixed with this advanced, like technological, modern synth feel. This is a solid track. I feel like this will place really well. Which is cool because most of your stuff has like that video game feel, but this one feels a little bit different. They both feel different. They're both unique. Dope work from the homie Opera Column. I appreciate the 20 bones, man. Thank you very much for the donation. Next up, we have Samoda. What's up, Samoda? What's up, Creation? I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. Can't complain. I've been having a great week so far. Been busy. A lot of things in the works that I'm excited to talk about. Also, if anybody's going to NAMM in Anaheim in April, I will be doing a panel with a couple other Sync homies. I don't even know if I'm able to talk about it yet, but I'll be doing a panel, so it'd be dope to see you guys there. Say what's up if anybody's in the area. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, sir. Documentary type beat. All right, Samoda, let's get it. This one's called Cross That Bridge. Of course, man. Thanks for coming through. right, Samoto. I feel like the material is there, but there's something in it that's missing it to give it that character. I feel like it feels pretty like I don't want to say predictable. It's some I don't know what word I'm looking for, but I feel like like it just feels very kind of like standard. I think it needs something to add that flavor to it, or like that swagger to it a little bit to kind of make it feel like your own. Everything feels like it's really on the grid. Like all the pianos are lined up. Everything just feels very kind of like robotic. I think you need something that makes it feel more humanized. That's what it is. Like adding your own like unique lead to it or something like that with the counter melody. I know you have that brass there, but I feel like something else. The structure's there. Like you have the structure down. I would also work on sound selection. So sound selection, add something that gives a little bit more flavor to it. But you're almost there. Like I see the direction you're going with it, but it's missing something. All right. Next up, we got the homie Allen. It said try narrowing the bass on the master channel. Okay. Let's get it, Allen. Dope, man. That was sick. That was a sample flip that you did. Bass was hitting nicely. Energy was there. I feel like if it wasn't a sample, that would fit really well for TV too because of the energy it has. Nicely done. And anytime Samoda, I appreciate you always coming through, man. Action scene, yeah, something like that. That pace definitely feels like that. Tried making my own drum loops in Serato, still getting a decent mix. Dope. I never used Serato. Has anybody else used Serato on here? How do you guys like it? All right, next up we got the homie Ayo Snoop, who we formerly known as Charismatic for anybody in the chat who didn't know. He said, what's up, y'all? Happy Friday. I'm not sure if I've uploaded these tracks before, but I would love to hear everyone's feedback or opinion. Nice, nicely done. That's a good track for reality TV for sure. Good drama track, nice spacing. Love the brass and the sound selection they use on that one. Very solid track from the homie Ayo Snoop, and the structure's on point. What's good, X.E.L.O? Hello, Addy. What is up? This next one from Ayo Snoop is called A Screw Loose. Nice little drill track from the homie L Snoop. This one was very unique. I feel like it had a couple of different feelings that it had as far as what it was fit for TV, more specifically reality TV. But I feel like a stripped down version or like a stem version of this would be really good for Underscore because it doesn't have too much emotional tonality as far as being drama or being, sad or anything like that or comedic and funny. I think it has a really good Underscore feel to it. So Underscore and mixed stem is a stem that I highly recommend you adding whenever you're submitting for sync placements after you're already signed with the music library, more specifically for TV shows, because if you put an Underscore mix or dialogue mix or whatever you want to call it, stem, where it's just a little bit more stripped down and you have just the bass elements of like the 808, the kick and the drums really pushing the track with minimal elements, not too many like counter melodies and stuff going on. It works really well for sync. They use those stems a lot, so that's what I felt from this one. This one's a good core, and I also feel like the Underscore mix of this would be really solid. All right, next one is called Smack. I heard this one. Dope. That was a good drama track. I feel like we heard that one before, but I could be wrong. Only thing I hear on this one is probably the mastering. I feel like it's clipping a little bit. Something about it feels like it's clipping. I could be wrong, but from my headphones right now, it sounds like it's clipping. Nicely done from the homie Ayo Snoop. Next up, we got the homie Morrison, formerly known as Hamada. He said 2 tracks from my friend's album. I co-produced on these. First track is a progressive house track, really uplifting, kind of happy, make you going in a circle. Second one is bass house. We made it like Joyxon, never heard of that style, and it's really big groovy drums. Okay. Clean as always, man. I really like the drop on this one. Really big, nice open hook to it. This next one's called Access. Now uplifting stuff fits for sync as well. Progressive house does well for sync. Dope, I like this. That was fire, bro. Nicely done. That was one of my favorite tracks you've done, Morrison. Nice bounce to it. Clean sound selection. On point. Marlon said, man, you need to play mine later. That happened to me last week. I was in a live stream, or I was in a, not live stream. I was on a call with the music library I was signed to, or I'm signed to. And they had an editor on it, and he was going through the different tracks of the week. And he was just picking out people's tracks and like giving feedback, kind of like this. And mine was up, but the track right after mine was this dude. He produced like AO by Chris Brown. He produced Loyal, co-produced Loyal and AO by Chris Brown. And his track was like 20 times better than mine. It was like deflating. I was like, shit. His was fire. Mine was like just not as nearly as good as his. It was clean. All right, Marlon, let's get it. This was called A Moment With You. What's up, Mouse Rat? Dope. All right, Marlon, that's a clean track. That gives me like this nostalgia vibe to it. But you know that R&B stuff does pretty well for sync. I think the only thing is that it sounds a little thin as far as a mix. Like that low end, I feel like it'd be hitting through a little bit harder with like the kick and stuff. But it's because you have those strings and stuff that are layered that kind of compete with that bottom end. Still dope though. Model on the Runway type beat. I hear like a reflective, chill, romantic date vibe with that one. What is up, Chicada? All right, next up we got the homie Mouse Rat. This was called Back to Work.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Welcome to the bay. Like that. Yeah. Like that. Welcome to the bay. Like that. Yeah. Like that. Welcome to the bay. Yeah, make a deposit. If it's my last few cents. I got it, you got it. No dollar room. Just knocking. Make him dance and look like you clogging. David say he needs some more. Head to the studio, I'm locked in. That shit that drop in, stick by you know that you're not him. Okay, let me chill out. It's like now you know you can't stop. You can't the bitch, but I pass me around and shoot in the face and get out, stop. Tech game is better than rockin'. Really long and stretch like Dawson.
Dope, man. That beat was fire. It was hard to hear the vocals for most of the track, but the beat was crazy. The energy was dope. Nicely done from the homie Mouse Rat. That drop was sick too.
What do you
at
have
the
to
beginning.
say?
Drop was nasty.
Welcome to the bay.
Dope, man. Nicely done. Next up, we got the homie The Alpha Pumpkin. We have music by Pumpkin and The Alpha Pumpkin. Dope, man. It had good energy to it right there. I don't know where that would fit for TV. Maybe it would fit for like a game or something, but you got to be careful with the sound effects if you are submitted for a game. Had a good energy to it, though. Nice, dope vibe. Next up, we got the homie X.E.L.O. But Creation said, do the music libraries work on the weekend? Like, do they reply on the weekends? It depends on the music library, I think. I feel like most of them no. A lot of them work the same hours production companies work. So production companies usually work from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So a lot of them try to match that schedule. I know personally when I was working for a music library, I was not working on the weekends. And I was not trying to listen to submissions on the weekend either. But if you want to be ahead of the game, what I would do is I would email them first thing Monday morning. Like, imagine them getting ready for work, locking into, let's say they work from home or something. getting ready for work. They already got their breakfast, everything, their morning routine down. They're about to head into to their office or whatever, open up their laptop or open up the computer. Right when they're like checking their phone and making their coffee and stuff is where I'm visualizing my email should be in the morning. Or if they're opening up their laptop, you're like one of the first ones there. And a tip that I saw some of you guys talk about this in the Discord the other day, which is dope. A tip that I use is whenever you put the subject line as music, but all lowercase, it sticks out more. Whenever I would see an email that said music, I would never expect it to be really a music submission, but it would make me open up the email because a lot of the clients would type in music in all lower caps. It looks different than like saying music composer submission and then putting your name or something, you know? So if you want to like kind of almost guarantee an open, there's a higher success rate when you email with the subject line is just music. Also with the sound effects, why do you have to be careful with those? Because in TV shows, movies, ads, they add in all that sound effects themselves. If you hear a baby crying on the TV show, it's not really a baby crying. They're going out and they're getting sound effects from a music library and they're adding that in there. If they're at a restaurant and the background noise is competing with their actual dialogue that they recorded, they're cleaning up the dialogue, so it's just the dialogue, and they're putting in fake background restaurant noise. So a lot of sound effects you hear are going to be added in on their own. So I wouldn't add just imagine that track being played in the club on a TV show or a movie, right? Because it has like this underground club feel. Like I just imagine Blade. And then you just hear the sound effects, the whoa, 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 the sirens is hitting in the background. You're going to think there's going to be a cop or something coming into the scene or something. So it's better not to have those sound effects because they add them in there themselves. Dope. All right, next up, we got the homie X.E.L.O. He said, first try at a trailer type music, use vocals from songs they supplied. I think it came out okay. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, thanks. Let's get it.
Nobody loves me, it's true. Not like you. Nobody loves me, it's true. Not like you do. Not like you do. Nobody loves me, it's true. Nobody loves me, it's true. Not like you do.
right, X, not bad for your first trailer type indeed. I feel like it has a good cinematic feel to it. I think the only feedback I could give, because I don't really specialize in trailer music, but what I hear from first listen is that we tend to, as hip hop producers, mix all of our tracks the same style, and I feel like this one kind of influences like a hip hop mix where we want that low end and stuff like that to really be hitting through. But I feel like a lot of your track is kind of squashed out from the low end rumble from a lot of the impacts. Some of it, like at the beginning too, feel like it was phasey a little bit. And when you have those low impact hits and stuff, I feel like you don't want to lose the dynamic of it, right? The punch of it. But a lot of that sub frequency is fighting and competing with other low end sounds that are in your track. So it's hard to get a trailer track to mix a trailer track and have everything in its right space. From what I've witnessed, it seems that everything is hard to put in its right space, but a lot of that low end is competing with a lot of your other track. All right, next up, we got the homie Revision. He says, "Happy Friday." This one's called "By the Beach." This is dope. Good space right here. Dope, man. Yeah, I turned it off for a second. This is dope. Good spacing, nice sound selection. This fits all day. Really good scene opener, but you also do a good job of leaving a lot of room for dialogue. In this B section, good build up right back into the track. Very good scene opener. That will get used all day. You got the sound locked down, Revision. I keep telling you that, but your sound is on point. Really good track. This one's called Lookout. This is a really good B section. dope, man. Another one. Another clean track, man. This track was really good. Sound selection's on point. I don't know what piano you used for this, but it was dope. Really dope. Let me turn the camera back on. I really like this. It's like piano you use on this melody. Nice build, man. This is gonna get used all day. Like Vision, you got it on lock, bro. I have no notes to give. I think you got it, man. You're there. All right, next up, we got the homie YIM. He said, hope everyone's having a fantastic Friday. Here's a few things I worked on this week. What's up, Samba? Yo, the sound selection on this is crazy. The sound design on this is ridiculous. Nicely done, man. Good textures on that. That was a good track. I love the bounce of that one too as well. This next one is called Wallows. It's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. I felt like it was like an OST or like a anime. Yeah, definitely hear that one. That was clean. All right, we got one more from the homie YIM. This one's called Covered Up. Beautiful, bro. Hey, this boy's crazy, man. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. This dude doesn't even play the piano. You know, he draws in his MIDI. You know, he draws in his piano roll himself, all his notes. Crazy talented, man. YM is ridiculously talented. I think I got a $5 donation from someone on my phone, but I don't know who it is in the chat. If your name is Hero U, I got your $5. I appreciate it. If you wanted me to play your track, let me know. I'll play it up after this next one. All right. Next up, we got the homie Creation Roll Music. Nah, Freddie, we haven't played yours yet. Dope, man. Nicely done. It had like a independent or indie film cinematic feel to it. That was a dope track. I like the like switch up that you got going on that one. That was a clean track. Okay, so I got you after this track then. I appreciate you, man. Dope, man. I don't know where specifically this would fit for Sync. I feel like you have a good, like, unique style, which is good. You have the spacing and the arrangement. That's all there. I just don't know what specifically this will fit, but this is a good track. I think that one thing that I did notice on this one is that the drums that you have are dope, but they kind of get repetitive. And I know you break it up with like adding little changes and stuff, but I almost feel like something going into that last hook, something should be added, or like the drums should be getting a little bit more busier going into this last hook here, because you have that boom, boom, and the kick and the tom pattern that are layered kind of get repetitive, or timpani or whatever it is. I feel like it would be cool to switch it up and add more momentum to this last part. Other than that, I don't have too much feedback on both tracks. You have a unique style. I think it's really dope. I think you should continue to hone in on your style. Clean work. All right, I got Samba next. I appreciate that $5 donation. You got 2 tracks, and we'll keep it moving after that. This was called Michu Pichu. Of course. Anything. All right, Samba. One, you got a dope style, man. Your bounce is really dope. I like the movement that you have with the drums. I like the direction this was going. This reminded me of like a scripted series. Scripted series being like, imagine Insecure, right? This has like this conflict type of feel to it, which is cool. Not really too dramatic where it's like confrontation going on or anything, but there's some type of conflict the character in the show is needing to get over. I think something that'll help you though with this is adding something to give it like a counter melody or something within the track. Like the base of it is there. The base of it is perfect. You have good spacing and stuff like that, good movement. I think that adding something like a counter melody to kind of break the repetitiveness of the strings that you got going on will help it. A really good note that I think will help is, like I said earlier, last week I was on a call with an editor of a TV show. And he was giving back feedback. But when he was talking about tracks, he was talking about them in thirds. He would say like, oh, this first part of the track. And basically what I mean by thirds is that he kind of separated it into 1, 2, 3 parts. But it was basically like a hook versus hook in our eyes, how we see it. And he would say like, oh, that first third of the track is good. I think I would use that the most out of it. And there's no point of this where it feels like there's thirds. It almost feels like it's one part, one section that's kind of like dropped out for a little bit and then it comes back in. So I think adding a counter melody or switching it up a little bit, you don't have to go too crazy with it. Like you have really good spacing and I think it complements the track really well. But adding something that kind of gives it that dynamic to change it up a little bit will help it. And two, this is just a note that I received last week too from that same editor that I think is just good to know. Be careful on heavy reverbs because he said that a lot of the times when there's tracks that have heavy reverbs, they really compete with the track or really compete with the scene. So let's say they're in a restaurant and there's a lot of heavy ambience going on in the background, or they're in a restaurant hall, like a big hall or banquet hall, and there's a lot of ambience going on. That reverb is going to compete with the natural like background effects of that restaurant scene. So I think cutting back on that will help it cut through the mix a lot better in those situations. But I think that's a solid track. Just adding those couple of things will take it up a notch. Solid track though. All right, we got one more from the homie. This is a hip hop track. All right, let's get it. Dope, man. Samba, you got a really dope vibe, man. It's very unique. Different bounce. Very different bounce. I like this track a lot. I feel like the same thing with this one. This has a scripted series feel. I forgot to mention this in the first note, but the first track, but I hear it in this one too, is that you lean really heavy on your 808s and bass, and it's cool, but I would tone it down a little bit. You don't need it to hit that hard because it's not going to cut through too much with TV, but I feel like, having a clean low end is important, and I do want it to have knock, but don't go too crazy with it, as opposed to like if you're, making it for an artist. Other than that, I think that you did a better job with the arrangement as far as adding and introducing more parts. But I almost want to hear in the middle of the track like a verse where it's stripped down and almost where it changes a little bit, because it gets repetitive again. Like flex on the drums a little bit. Have your drums hitting and doing the movement for the verse or something, or have like a different bass line or like a live bass that's layered or something that kind of changes up the flow right in that middle of the track where a lot of the dialogue is going to be sitting, and then bring it back in with the regular style. But these are dope. Both these tracks are dope. I like them regardless. I'm just giving some feedback since you sent that $5 donation. I appreciate that, man. Thanks a lot for sending that in. Nicely done. All right, next up, we got the homie Chicada. He said, unfinished track. Only first verse, chorus, rest is MP. Let me know your thoughts. And I realize the intro is hella long, so probably be best to eliminate the intro entirely for sync and go straight to the riser vocal. Let's see.
Nobody would have told me I would wake up someday without you, without you. And I can't tell if I'm more scared to see you. I'd never be with you again, never be with you. I know it's been a while, I know it's been some time, but your name doesn't make me smile anymore, not anymore. Someday, when you're feeling lonely and you wish you could only hold me, you should know that won't go as you've planned. Because you left me at my lowest, cast aside just to outgrow it. You should know that I'll never be your man, your man.
This is dope, Chikara. I like this a lot, man. This is a really solid track so far. I know it's just a rough draft, but you definitely got something going on with this one. I feel like it would place really well. The intro was long. I don't think you need to cut it to the part where it gets straight into the riser. Just cut it in half. So like I think you have like 28 seconds or something. Instead of repeating that main like intro you have going on, just only do it once. So this would be the intro. It could even be this long right here. Like right at 21 seconds is where the beat should be coming in. I think that it'd be fine just like that. Because songs are different than instrumentals for sync. So the format doesn't need to be exactly how we talk about on here. It's always good to experiment either way. You guys who get feedback from me, it doesn't need always to be exactly how I say it. I just hear that usually with sync, there's every 4 bars there's some type of change. So I think that your song structure on this is fine. Just get that intro a little bit shorter. But you don't need to just go straight into it. I feel like it's good to introduce that little piano with the snap. It's setting the tone of the track. That's a good track, though. I want to hear that when it's finished. Nicely done from the homie Chikara. All right, next up, we got the homie Freddie River. This is called Regular Shift.
Hey, yo, Freddie.
I'm gonna pause it right there. That sounds like something I would listen to on a spaceship, just vibing out with some speakers on it. That's a dope track, man. Freddie River always puts us on a little journey with his music. Nicely done. We got another one from Freddie River. We already played the ones from Opera Column earlier, so let's get into this one. He said this one will be on his Spotify and Apple Music tonight. Okay, this is called "Been There, Done That."
Yo, Freddie.
Dope work from the homie Freddie. Be sure to check it out if you guys are feeling that track. He's going to be releasing it tonight. Dope work, Freddie. Nicely done. Next up, we got Flares. If you don't know Flares, well, you'll know today. This one's called Rhythmico. Rhythmico. Okay, players. This dude Flares is in the Illuminati. There's no doubt. That was crazy. The mix on that was so clean. I don't know how you got that mix so tame and so well done. And I see you with a little hip hop, like a little breakdown over here on this part. So many changes on this track too. Crazy, man. Nicely done, Flares. That was really good. This dude's out here trying to win some awards or something. All right. Let's keep it moving. Next up, we got the homie Ponza Productions. Said, hello, Excalibur Joe. I'm ready to start emailing music directories as you recommended. This is one of my favorite pieces. I'm going to be try to get placed. I'm not sure how to market this one, and I was hoping you and the great people gathered here may have some ideas. Thanks for your information. This was called Every Time. Every Time. Be careful with Google Drive links, man. If you're gonna start pitching out, I do not recommend Google Drive links because sometimes they play, sometimes they don't. All right, Ponza, nicely done, man. I feel like this definitely has potential, 100%. This reminds me of, like, let's say Storage Wars, where they're like traveling all the way down Route 66 or something, right? They're on a long car ride to get to the place where they're about to bid on their next storage unit. I feel like that's the type of vibe I was getting, like some type of car show or some type of show where they're on a long voyage and they're showing like the B-roll to it. That's the feel I got to it. Only two notes. One, I would get this mix really polished. Just clean it up a little bit more or spend a little bit more time on it. It's not a bad mix, but just get it to that really polished, impressive, dress to impress type of feel. Second is the 16 notes that you use on your hi-hats. I would make it sound more realistic because that pattern that you got going on with the hi-hats make it sound more synthetic and not as humanized, which it's, you know, we have parts where like that happens, but I feel like for this specific track you wanted to like like accent those notes instead of one hopefully my little example was good enough, but like one stagnant type of feel. So just give it a little bit more realistic, just to show off your show off your musical expertise. You got a good job programming these drums. You got a good job as far as tonality with the guitars. The brass sounds pretty cool too as well. You could get the brass to sound a little bit more realistic, but I don't think it's as noticeable as the hi-hats when they get to the 16th notes. I'm trying to play the track again, but Google Drive's playing me right now, so not letting me replay the parts I'm trying to mention. But this is a solid track. I can see you put a lot of work into it, and it's definitely there. Excited to see what you do with that. All right. Nicely done, Panza. Next up, let's get to, we already played Samba. We got, these are the last three we're going to play in the stream. Because your boy got to eat some lunch. I've not eaten anything besides a bar, so your boy's kind of hungry. So this track is from The Coach. He said did this yesterday. It's the first attempt of UGK. He wrote a verse and hook, but haven't had time to record. Okay. Craig David at? Nicely done, Coach, man. This dude coaches a Swiss Army knife. Has so many different styles he can make. That was clean all day. I want to hear that with the verse and hook you add to it. Very clean, man. I feel like I was watching a commercial or something, or like an advertisement with that one. All right, next up we got Achu. Achu. This one's called Life.
I hate you.
Good arrangement. All right, Drew, that's pretty dope. I feel like this definitely fits like for those tasking, like scene opener, rock tasking cues do really well. That type of, you hear that type of stuff from reality TV all the time. Two things: sound selection I would work on, and getting the mix a little bit widened because it feels like it's very thin at the moment. But the track is solid overall. Next up, we got the homie Storchy. We're gonna end it off Tooth. Then I got you, Tooth. That'll be the last track. It's made for Tesla. Your track was made for Tesla. That's dope. Do you know if it got placed yet or no? Wait, it was made on a Tesla. Oh my god. This dude flares, man. He said he made that shit on a Tesla. Vibe. That was a cool vibe. I enjoyed that one. Nicely done, Storchy. And it's not Tooth, it's Toot. My bad, Toot. We got Toot the producer, ending it with an epic orchestral Taylor track. Let's get it. No, man. I had like a competition reality feel. I feel like I can hear that on a competition reality. So when they're revealing the who got eliminated tension is it the genre that it's called? Elimination tension. Dope work, man. Only feedback I have is probably getting those impacts a little bit quieter because they're way louder compared to the rest of your instruments. They're like the strings and stuff like that. The string sounds like dope. Brass layered with it. The strings are on point, man. I love the strings. I think just getting that a little bit balanced will even it out a little bit. It almost has like a hip hop mix to it. But I feel like if you get it more balanced and everything in its own space, it's gonna take over even more, have higher placeability. Other than that, solid track, man. Nicely done to everybody today. I appreciate everybody who came through the stream. We got a good one today. I'll be back next Friday, I believe. I should be back next Friday. If I'm not, I'll let you guys know. But you guys have a great weekend. Hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe. Who you guys got for the Super Bowl, though, before I go? I want to know who you guys got. If you guys are watching it. Who's watching the Super Bowl? Who you guys got? Personally, I kind of want the Eagles to win. But I wouldn't mind seeing Andy Reid get revenge on his old team. So I don't know. All right, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.